Welcome to Discipleship 101, Foundations of Covenant Discipleship, presented by Greg Witter and Ephraim's Cry Academy. This study will take you deep into the true meaning of discipleship from a Hebraic mindset, walking in both Torah obedience and the power of the Spirit. This is not just a teaching, it's a call to action to rise as the remnant, restored in covenant and equipped for the days ahead. Discipleship 101 is far more than a simple Bible study or academic course. This is not a devotional. It is a call to return to the ancient paths of righteousness, to rediscover the true meaning of covenant discipleship from a Hebraic mindset. It is about learning to walk fully in the instructions of Yahuwah, His Torah, and to live in the power and guidance of His Ruach HaKodesh. In today's age of compromise, false doctrines, and powerless religion, true discipleship's been lost. Many have accepted a watered-down gospel that lacks obedience, lacks the fear of Yahuwah, lacks the readiness to stand in the times of testing that are coming upon the world. This study calls the remnant back to covenant. It will challenge you to examine your life and your obedience. It will transform, not just inform. Equip you to fight the spiritual battles and stand in your kingdom identity. Prepare you to disciple others and to walk as a light in this darkening world. Discipleship 101 is a journey to full transformation of heart, mind, spirit, and lifestyle, preparing you for the days to come and the role Yahuwah is calling His remnant to fulfill. In our generation, much of what is called discipleship has drifted far from the original teachings and meanings of Scripture. Instead of preparing believers to live as set-apart, covenant-keeping disciples, many have settled for the shallow teachings and powerless religion, disconnected from the ancient paths. True discipleship is built on the unchanging foundation of Torah, the teachings of Messiah Yahusha, and the power of the Ruach HaKodesh dwelling in us. Without this, there is no real preparation for the times we are now entering. This study is needed today because the original calling of discipleship must be restored. Believers must understand their identity as covenant people, not merely church members. The remnant must be equipped to stand in obedience and in spiritual power. The modern religious world is full of mixture, false teaching, and compromise, and many are unprepared for the spiritual battles ahead. We are approaching days of great testing and refining. The goal of this course is to equip you as a serious student with the tools, the mindset, and the heart needed to walk in obedience, spiritual power, and kingdom purpose in the coming days. This is a serious course, one that will shape your understanding of the Word, your covenant walk, and your purpose in the kingdom. This is a full-length, in-depth training course, not just a short series, not a devotional. It is designed to equip, transform, and commission you for the covenant discipleship. This course contains 36 full-length teaching chapters, organized into 6 powerful sections, 6 chapters per session. Over 36 hours of video teaching in 2 spiral-bound printed study guides. Why book 1 and book 2? Because this study is so immense, so comprehensive, it couldn't fit into one volume. There is that much depth, truth, and practical application poured into this training. You will work through detailed scripture studies, personal reflection and journal pages, fill in the blank reviews and learning checks, prophetic challenges for your personal obedience, group and individual study options, downloadable tools and supplemental resources, online coaching, and community inside Ephraim's Cry Academy. This course is intentionally structured to lead you step by step through the foundation of covenant living, to help you think with a Hebraic mindset, to restore your understanding of kingdom covenant, to teach you to walk as Messiah Yahusha walked, to prepare you to disciple others in spirit and in truth. This is not discipleship light. This is a serious kingdom training for the remnant. So the question is, will you study, learn, apply, grow, and share? That's what this course is all about. This training is designed to build you up, not in head knowledge, but in covenant identity, spirit-empowered obedience, and kingdom authority. This is where the rubber meets the road. Here's what this study will focus on: restoring your understanding of Yahuwah's covenant, who you are in Him. It's about aligning your life with Torah, walking in spirit and in truth. Know ye not that ye are the dwelling place, the tabernacle? Training your heart and mind to think and live Hebraically. Teaching you to walk as Messiah Yahusha walked, as a true disciple, and equipping you for the daily spiritual discipline of power, fasting, study, and application. Preparing you for the spiritual warfare that is taking place all around us and how to stand in the evil day. Building spiritual strength through obedience-based discipleship. Walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Calling you to prophetic action to become part of the remnant rising up other disciples. Preparing you for the coming greater exodus and the days of shaking that is ahead. This is not theory. This is not religious tradition. It is hands-on, practical, life-changing discipleship for those who want to live out their covenant calling in these urgent times. You will not simply learn what it means to follow Yahusha. You'll be trained to actually live it, walk it, and multiply it. The core mission of this training is simple, but it is weighty: to raise up true disciples of Messiah Yahusha, men and women of covenant, obedient, power, and purpose, who will study the Word with a restored Hebraic mindset, who will learn the covenant truths hidden by tradition and religion, who will apply those truths in daily life, conduct, speech, and character, who will grow in maturity, wisdom, and spiritual strength, who will share by discipling others, multiplying this walk in the next generation. The ultimate purpose of this study is to restore the covenant walk of the early followers of Yahusha, to rebuild the foundations of true Torah-based discipleship, to equip the remnant to stand in this prophetic hour, to prepare laborers for the final harvest, to help each student walk as Messiah walked, as a light in the midst of a dark and lawless world. The mission is not to produce passive believers. It is to produce active, obedient, set-apart disciples who will carry this message to others, who will live in the kingdom, and who will be ready for the return of the King. Section 1 lays out the foundation of your entire discipleship journey. What does it mean to return to the ancient path? Why must we leave behind false traditions, religious mixture, and modern compromise? What is the true definition of discipleship from a Hebraic mindset? What was the model of Yahusha himself and his early Talmudim, disciples? In this section, you will begin to understand the ancient covenant pattern from Genesis through Revelation. You will see how the modern religion has drifted from the true faith once delivered, recognizing the importance of restoration and the danger of compromise. You'll begin aligning your life with Torah truth and kingdom purpose. Grasp the prophetic call for this generation to prepare the bride and to restore the foundations of our faith. This first session is where you will confront the false teachings of modern Christianity and Judaism and begin to embrace the ancient path of obedience, covenant faithfulness, and true discipleship. You will learn why this return is vital in these days, and you are called, and how you are called to be part of this restoration. In section 2, the focus shifts to your personal covenant walk. What does it truly mean to walk in covenant of Yahusha? How do we enter and live in this covenant life? What must be laid down? What must be embraced? This session will help you understand the cost of a covenant relationship and the reward of obedience. Grasp the seriousness of a true covenant commitment. See the importance of leaving Egypt and Babylon behind. No mixture, no compromise. Identify patterns of thinking and living that must be uprooted. Embrace the fullness of Torah as the way of life, not a legalism. Learn the heart posture of a true disciple, which is humility, obedience, and joy in serving Yahuwah. Covenant life is not casual. It is a total surrender. Surrender of your heart, your mind, your lifestyle, your family, your priorities, and your future. In this section, you will begin to live as one who belongs fully to Yahuwah, and you will begin to experience the blessings and power of covenant obedience. In the next session 3, the focus is foundation of the Torah, the heart of the covenant living. Why is Torah central to true discipleship? Why did Yahusha say, I did not come to destroy the Torah, but to fulfill it, to make it stronger, fuller, and more powerful? Why do the apostles teach obedience, not lawlessness? This session will equip you to understand what Torah truly is, the instructions of Yahuwah for life. Separate Torah truths from Christian and Judaism distortions and misunderstanding. Grasp the role of Torah in the life of the new covenant, renewed covenant disciple. See how Torah and the Spirit work together, not in opposition to each other. Learning how to apply Torah in our daily life, home, family, work, and community. In this modern age of lawlessness, this is a vital section of teaching to correct the false doctrines, to expose counterfeit grace that rejects obedience, to call disciples back to Spirit-empowered Torah living. In this section, you will learn how to read and study Torah through a Hebraic lens and mindset. How Torah points to Yahusha, the living Word made flesh. How Torah prepares and equips us for the kingdom to come. Without this foundation, no disciple can walk as Yahusha walked. With this foundation, you will be strengthened, prepared, built up, and ready for the days ahead. In the next section, session 4, we turn to the vital balance of the disciple's life. What does it truly mean to walk in the Spirit? How do we walk in the Spirit and obedience, not one without the other, as both are required. How did Yahusha model this balance, and why must we follow his example? In this session, we will teach you how to live in daily communion with the Ruach HaKodesh, set-apart spirit dwelling in you. Walk in obedience to Yahusha's Torah, empowered by his spirit. How to avoid two great errors: law without spirit, legalism, and spirit without Torah, lawlessness. Cultivate the spirit disciplines that strengthen your walk: prayer, fasting, study of the word, listening to the voice of Yahuwah, and obedience in action, not just in knowledge. Understanding the role of the Ruach in conviction of sin, empowering obedience, spiritual gifts, discernment in these deceptive days, and boldness to witness and disciple others. In this age of false teachings and spiritual confusion, it is essential for the remnant and the believer to be trained in this balance. No compromise, no mixture, no counterfeit spirituality, no dead religious legalism. You're going to be trained to walk as Yahusha walked, in spirit, in truth, in obedience, in power. For this is the life of a true disciple. In section 5, it equips you for an essential but often neglected part of discipleship. That is the spiritual warfare and kingdom authority. Every disciple will face battles, both spiritual and practical, in this life. We are called to stand firm, not shrink back. We are called to walk in kingdom authority, not in fear. In this session, you will learn the reality of the spiritual warfare, what Scripture reveals about the unseen battle around us, and how to prepare ourselves for it. How to walk in the full armor of Elohim, understanding each piece and part, and learning to apply it in our daily life. The power of prayer, not as empty repetition, but as a weapon of warfare, able to tear down strongholds and advance the kingdom. How to stand firm in your authority as a disciple of Messiah Yahusha, so that you are not overcome by fear, doubt, or deception. This session is critical in preparing the remnant, because the days ahead will require a people who know how to fight. Not a physical battle, but in spirit and in truth, and who will not retreat in the face of opposition. In the next section, session 6, we move from personal transformation to kingdom living and multiplying disciples. What does it mean to walk as a kingdom disciple in this present age? How do we live out the Torah and teachings of Yahusha in every area of our life? How do we disciple others as he commanded us to? So my question, which is very critical, especially if you have children or grandchildren, is what are you doing to disciple them? What are you doing to teach them, to train them, to bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Most High, to walk in covenant, and to be a disciple of Yahusha and follow Yahuwah? In this session, we equip you to live daily covenant relationship with Yahuwah in power of the Ruach HaKodesh. Walk in the identity and calling of a disciple of Yahusha, applying the ways of the kingdom in home and family, community and fellowship, finance and stewardship, work and business, relationships and leadership. Embracing the call to disciple others, raising up new followers of the way. Preparing yourself to be a laborer in the harvest, not just a hearer of the word, but a doer also. understanding the prophetic urgency of the hour, the role in these last days, living with kingdom purpose every day, in every area and every way. The life of the disciple is not a private faith. I'm going to say that again. The life of a disciple is not a private faith. It is a public witness, a calling to represent the King in every sphere. In this final session, you will be challenged to live a life that is worthy of your calling. Represent Yahusha and his kingdom in power and truth. Walk in visible obedience. Train and disciple others. Be the light in a dark generation, and multiply what you've learned and bear fruit for the kingdom. This is the life of kingdom discipleship, not just for yourself, but for the glory of Yahuwah and the preparation of the bride. By the time you complete this course, you will have gained much more than just knowledge. You will have begun a true transformation of heart, mind, spirit, and lifestyle. The marks of a true disciple. Through this study, you will gain a deep covenant-based foundation rooted in Torah, renewed in the Messiah, Yeshua, and empowered by the Ruach HaKodesh. The ability to walk in spirit and truth, not tossed about by false doctrines and mixture that is so prevalent today. You will walk in victory in spiritual warfare, able to stand firm against the enemy's schemes, deceptions, and lies. Boldness and confidence to witness and to disciple others as part of the advancing kingdom. You'll be given practical tools and disciplines to help you live that set-apart life in obedience, prayer, spiritual power, and kingdom purpose. Preparation for the days ahead so that you are not caught unaware, but can stand strong as part of the remnant. This is not theory. This is training for real life, for real kingdom work, and for the times we are now facing and entering. This course has been designed to be flexible so that any serious student can complete it regardless of their schedule. You will have access to a self-paced online study. Progress through the course at your own pace, allowing time for reflection and application. Optional one-on-one coaching or mentorship opportunities. For those who desire additional guidance and accountability, available through Ephraim's Cry Academy and our professionally trained coaches. As suggested, a prayer and study journal to help you track your progress, record insights, and deepen your spiritual growth throughout the study. We also include a Paleo-Hebrew quick reference chart to aid in the restoration of the original language and mindset of the scriptures. Bonus resources including how to study the scriptures from a Hebraic mindset study guide to strengthen your understanding and foundation. The goal is not just for you to complete the study, but for you to be fully equipped, fully armed, fully prepared, walking in obedience and power when you finish this course. You are being called to more than a course. You are being called to a journey of transformation, a journey that will equip you to walk in covenant obedience, to be empowered by the Ruach HaKodesh, and to stand as a bold witness in these last days. If you're ready to return to the ancient paths, to be restored as a true disciple of Messiah Yahushua, to live as one prepared for the coming kingdom, to equip and disciple others, then this course is for you. Enroll today at Ephraim's Cry Academy and begin this journey. The harvest is great. The time is short. Now is the time to prepare. And so we invite you to walk this path with us for the glory of Yahuwah and for the sake of his kingdom. You've heard the call. Now is the time to walk it out. We believe in what we teach, and we're not afraid to prove it. You're invited to set in on the first full class session of any course, absolutely free. Experience the teaching, the environment, and the heart of this academy before you make any commitment. No catch, just come and see. Your first step begins with picking your class, a transformational course rooted in Torah, spirit, and truth. And to equip you for success, you'll receive a how to study from a Hebraic mindset absolutely free with a paid course. We don't just want to teach, we want to enable you, to help you study, learn, apply, grow, and share, and get started with a solid foundation. The bonus course lays that foundation you need to rightly divide, study, and apply Scripture from a Hebraic mindset Messiah himself walked in. This isn't fluff, it's fundamental. The journey doesn't end with one course. And to encourage continued growth, we're offering a 20% off every additional course you enroll in after your first. Whether it's your second, third, or fourth course, you'll save because we're investing in those who are serious about growing in the truth. Please note, unfortunately, this discount doesn't include the printed guides and other materials, just the course of instruction itself. You're not walking this path alone. When you enroll, you join a community of disciples, passionate about truth, rooted in Torah, empowered by the Spirit, and preparing for what's ahead. Like-minded individuals who seek to serve the Most High. Now is the time. The remnant is rising. It's time to study, apply, grow, and walk as Messiah walked. Choose your course or courses, step into the covenant, walk, and we'll walk this path together. Thank you for choosing Ephraim's Cry Academy and for choosing to study the Word from a Hebraic mindset. You are about to embark on a life-changing journey. A journey of truth, transformation, and covenant restoration. As you study, may Yahuwah bless you, open your understanding, and lead you deeper into His Word and His ways. Study, learn, apply, grow, and share. Let's begin the journey together as we learn to walk as Messiah walked.